All right, we're with Nick Wirth, who put this beautiful car together. The most anticipated thing probably in IndyCar racing in the last 10 or 15 years, how the Aero kit's going to look. All the 9-year-old kids love them. Some of the teams aren't sure what to think of them. Some of the older fans are like, that's just too much. Just tell us how you came about, with the rules you were given, how this all came about, Nick.
It's really just working on, these are the boxes you're allowed to do work on. It's a real challenge because the boxes around like the front wing, you've got very complex rules saying you have to be able to split the components across the boxes. So you've got like an end plate box, you've got a flat box. You've got complex challenges like you're only allowed to bolt the parts onto the Dallara main plane with the bolts that you had before. So there's all these kind of problems to solve. Bigger problems we've had are IndyCar, which we really support, going to this new safer floor concept. So you know the big holes that have been cut out in the underwing to try and stop the cars taking off or backflipping. That's lost a lot of downforce, a lot of front downforce. We've had to cope with changes to the road course configuration where IndyCar have gone, we're getting a bit too much downforce here, let's take the strakes off, the sidewalls off, which kills like 25-30% of your downforce as a starting point. So I think that it's difficult to really get that across the fans, kind of quite how much how low the base has become in between the season and which we've had to develop.
I think people they thought it was going to be a turbine or a twin-engine Porsche or something, but the box that you were painted in, you couldn't just change the whole. You changed everything you could within the rules.
Oh, believe me, yeah, we changed everything and probably more that we could within the rules. As I say, the boxes are given to us. We do the best we can. It's not a styling exercise, it's about science and downforce. It's fascinating to see how the two manufacturers have chosen different routes, and we're just super excited to get out there and try and optimize ours and see where we end up.
Well, I think here's two things. If the young fans like it, and if Honda and Chevy enjoy the competition, then it's worth it. That's all. You were going to 7 months, 8 months?
Yeah, I mean the Aero kit concept has been talked about by IndyCar for I guess since 2011. Taken quite a while to kind of come up with the rules, but once we got the rules, it was a flat-out thrash to try to get the thing developed and get the parts out. And even within that time, we had a couple of changes, which are actually big changes, which affected both Chevy and us. So I had to try and deal with that as well. So it's been a magnificent challenge. IndyCar racing, in terms of engineering, this mix of the street tracks like St. Pete and these fantastic race tracks like Barber, and then going all the way out to the ovals, and then obviously the crown jewels being the Indy 500. What a challenge to be able to come up with a kit which can span that range. It's really exciting, and we're really happy with the competition.
We were just talking to Graham Rahal, and I said, what about the oval track kit? He said, it is Space A. He goes, you're not going to believe it. So it's even more different than this.
It's very different. Yeah, it's very different. We've got some things on there that are quite interesting all around the car, really. And again, it's just our attempt to make the thing as quick as possible. Ultimately, this series is about how much the fans like it. We hope that we've done something that people enjoy, entertain, they enjoy, and causes a discussion, and hopefully the racing can remain as exciting as possible.
When it came out, Nick, the picture of the car and the louvered effect on the front with the wings, everybody said, oh, that's going to cost 10 laps extra yellow when they crash, all those parts. A couple guys told me on the Andretti team they knocked a nose off and the whole section came off. It didn't come off in 10,000 pieces. So maybe people are reading more into this than they should.
Well, ultimately, there's always the downside to everything. The downside to letting crazy guys like me go out the rules when you just get a box is that sometimes you end up with things like this. We've tried to design it responsibly. We've thought about the series, working with all of the Honda's experience, integrating crash-proof materials in. So actually, even though you see a lot of carbon fiber, actually in the mix of our parts as well, we have Kevlar, which is very kind of damage absorbent, and we've tried to design it so that it doesn't shatter into a million pieces, so fans are sat in the stands while people are sweeping parts up. It's difficult to please everybody. We've tried our hardest, and we just hope everyone enjoys the result.
Well, it's been entertaining so far, and we look forward to the season. We thank you for your time, Nick Wirth, the man behind the Honda Aero kit. Robin Miller for RACER.com. Thanks for watching.